What's up, fam? So we have the people's mayor, Brandon Johnson, out of the great city of Chicago. He has signed an executive order instructing the Chicago Police Department to investigate federal ICE agents to make sure they're not doing anything illegal or criminal in order to, I guess, have a paper trail for whenever he gets the opportunity to, I guess, prosecute the feds or take them to court. I don't know. I don't know what Brandon Johnson is thinking, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch this news clip, and then we're gonna try to break down in more detail the specifics of this executive order and how those in law enforcement feel about it. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Let's hit it.
Today, Mayor Brandon Johnson put federal immigration agents on notice with an executive order. With the stroke of a pen, Mayor Brandon Johnson ordered the Chicago Police Department to start investigating alleged wrongdoing by federal immigration agents.
If the federal government will not hold these rogue actors accountable, then Chicago will do everything in our power to bring these agents to justice.
The ICE on Notice executive order directs members of CPD to document alleged illegal activities by both ICE and Border Protection agents so they can be held legally accountable.
I'm sorry, but doesn't Chicago have a police shortage right now? Did not just do a video where a young woman was shot in the alley. Police was called. They pretended to go and investigate. No video in the neighborhood saw police come there, but then they closed the case saying nothing is going on. And then the next day, one of the co-workers of the young lady that was shot found her next to her car, shot up and dead. It's the same Chicago. The same Chicago where they had a program called Shots Fired, where when somebody's shooting a gun, the signals will go out to where it'll tell the police where about these gunshots came from, and they can go investigate. This is that Chicago. This is that same mayor, one of the many Democratic mayors around the country, who talking about defunding the police. That's Chicago. Okay.
Evidence of wrongdoing will be referred to the Cook County State's Attorney's Office for prosecution.
What the law says is that federal agents can be held accountable for state and local crimes if their actions were not necessary to further their federal obligations.
The mayor signed the directive Saturday morning, surrounded by a coalition of community leaders and local elected officials.
You know what I noticed in this picture? A lot of light-skinned people. These are probably people who, like, Hispanics, others who probably did not originate in this country, and maybe now have citizenship or got a reprieve, I guess you want to call it, from this mayor right here. This mayor right here is that a picture of his family right there? Wife, 3 boys, amazing. I almost forgot what I was about to say. Anyway. Oh, but you got people, this mayor right here is fighting harder for these people that's sitting right next to him than he is for these people that are in this picture with him. So it seems.
Local elected officials, making Chicago the first city in the nation to create a framework to pursue legal accountability for misconduct by federal immigration agents.
So what we've done is essentially Trump-proof Chicago from these military tactics.
Trump. And that's the whole reason for all this. It has nothing to do with ICE, because remember, President Barack Obama, straight up out of Chicago, was called the deporter in chief back when he was in office because he deported so many people. When he was in office, so many people died during ICE raids and investigations. Nobody said anything. Specifically, the Democrats said nothing. Now Donald Trump is doing it. Now it's a problem. It's a major problem. Barack Obama started the Guantanamo Bay. Was it Guantanamo Bay, I think? Where they, shipping these people to these cages and separating families. He did that. Now, I'm quite sure he ain't the one that came up with the idea, because that's not how them folk work. When they put one of us, well, he ain't one of us, but you know what I'm saying. When they put one of us in a certain position, they not doing it so you can get in there and do what you want to do. They just want you to be the face of what they trying to do. So won't nobody say nothing, because if you get one of them folk doing it, i.e. Donald Trump, then everybody's upset. You see how that works?
Agents.
So what we've done is essentially Trump-proof Chicago from these military tactics that are illegal and are insane.
We reached out to the Department of Homeland Security. So far, it has not commented.
But whether or not the federal government will respect our local governments and respect, how our states function, I think that's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
The Fraternal Order of Police is against this. In an emailed statement, a spokesperson writes in part, "This is just more political bluster from City Hall. We will be exploring the legal jeopardy Brandon Johnson might be placing our members into."
And why would you think that they would not think any different? Because Brandon Johnson I did videos about how he's talked down about the police. Like I say, trying to defund the police and stuff like, and did say that we didn't need more police on the streets of Chicago in order to help fight crime. We need affordable housing, whatever the heck that means. They all have affordable housing, which is where the police most of the time is needed.
Johnson's order instructs Chicago police officers to document federal enforcement activities, preserve body camera footage from incidents, and identify federal agents on scene. The action follows the shooting of Miramar Martinez in Chicago and the killings of Severio Villegas Gonzalez in Franklin Park and Renee Good and Alex Peretti in Minnesota.
These are abominable situations that we currently don't have a recourse for. This allows the opportunity to submit evidence, to collect and record.
The executive order does not direct CPD to arrest federal officers.
Hell, it can't. But it's hypocritical to me, because a couple of people died under what ICE is doing, and now you want to have a whole investigation. You want to call in a task. But when you have these brothers and sisters out here of any color, let's just be honest, and they get killed by the local police, they get immunity. Now, every now and then you might get a couple of them that might get sent to prison. I think when they had 3, like one in Dallas, one in Minnesota. I can't think of the other one where George Floyd was at. Was that St. Louis? What was that at? Was that Minnesota? But anyway, so it was like 3 of them I know. And the one that happened, no. Yeah, that's right. Minnesota was George Floyd. And the one recently that just happened, I can't think of it right now. But you had a few they went to prison, but for the most part, they get off. Saying, they it happened in a line of duty, and they had the right to shoot an unarmed man. But now the feds are doing things, but the thing about it, the people that are dying during these ICE raids and investigations are citizens who are butting in the business of people that really, I'm just going to say, they don't have no reason to, because they ain't got nothing to do with you. And it would make more sense if it was probably a Black American, because we can say, man, we know how the police are, we know how the feds are, man, we're going, we're going to fight for you. I'm just saying it would make more sense. Not saying we should get involved in that. What I'm saying is, if we got involved in that and something like that happened, it would make a lot more sense. But it's happening to them folk, and them folk is trying to stop the feds, and them folk are the one who getting, taken out. And now Mary Johnson is wanting to protect them folk and the illegals. Isn't that amazing?
Chicago police officials have 30 days to develop a policy to implement the order.
Oh.
Reporting from Chicago City Hall, Evelyn Holmes, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
So he don't even have a policy for this executive order. But anyway, let's go see if I can find some more details about this and see exactly what it's about. It said the order titled "ICE on Notice" directs the Chicago Police Department to investigate, document, and preserve evidence of alleged illegal activity by federal immigration agents, particularly Immigration and Customs Enforcement and Border Patrol personnel operating in the city. Why Border Patrol in Chicago? Anyway, it say CPD officers are instructed to investigate, report, or observe actions by federal immigration agents that may breach local or state laws. Officers must document activity, including preserving body cam footage from encounters. Shouldn't they be doing it all anyway? From local crimes and stuff, they should always have their body cam footage, right? Attempting to identify officers by name and badge number or rank. Noting whether federal agents may have exceeded legal authority. Citizens do that all the time. It's amazing. Citizens do that all the time with local police, but now he wants the local police to do it to federal police. Man, this is crazy. This stuff costs money. Where are you getting the money from? You're already like $1 billion over budget. Nobody wanted to sign your budget to increase taxes or to charge companies that hire over 500 people, whatever, extra tax like luxury taxes and stuff like that. Nobody want to sign off on that. But now you got money, you got time and money. Again, you are a couple of thousand police officers understaffed, but you want them to go and investigate federal agents. I'm not understanding it of all. It says the order is designed to create a legal record and pathway for accountability when local officials believe federal agents broke the law. Johnson's office said this is intended to make Chicago the first U.S. city to formally create infrastructure for holding ICE and Border Patrol agents accountable through local reporting and prosecution mechanisms, a break from past practices. According to statements from Johnson's office and press coverage, the order is a response to what the mayor describes as aggressive federal immigration enforcement, including raids that local leaders argue have violated constitutional rights, destabilized communities, and lacked local oversight. Johnson said nobody is above the law and that the city will use its authority to document and potentially act on misconduct when federal agents do not. Man, you're going to try to put these people, you're going to try to prosecute these people, and all Donald Trump's going to do is just put you in your place. Man, this is just smoke and mirrors, like really. It says federal agents generally operate with sovereign immunity when acting within their federal duties, meaning local or state prosecutions often cannot charge them for actions taken during official operations. The order attempts to preserve evidence and build potential local cases, but legal experts note it may face significant constitutional and jurisdictional challenges because federal law enforcement prerogatives. It's prerogatives? Is that how you spell prerogative? I thought Bobby Brown said prerogative. I said it's my prerogative, but it's prerogative. I'll be damned. Enforcement prerogatives usually supersede local ordinances. Man, the White House got to be laughing their butts off with this because this is like nonsense. This is nonsense. Like I said, this is just smoke and mirrors, just something to make him look good in front of I don't know who, maybe other Democratic politicians. Maybe he's trying to move up in the ranks because this is ridiculous. It's reaction. It's a local law enforcement leaders, including the Chicago Fraternal Order of Police, have criticized the order, calling it symbolic or impractical because CPD cannot typically arrest or prosecute federal officers acting in their official capacity. Cook County State's Attorney Eileen O'Neill Burke stated The office will review the order but has not pre-approved its provisions. Supporters argue it's a step towards civil rights accountability. Opponents say it may exceed legal authority and create conflict between federal and law enforcement. This is just all about hating Donald Trump, period. Told you before, President Barack Obama did the exact same thing, and nobody said nothing about it. There wasn't no big fuss like this. No big fuss like this. But now that you got Donald Trump doing it, and people just hate Donald Trump, it's amazing how I've never been a person to just hate somebody so much that I would cut off my nose and spite my face in order to prove a point against Donald Trump. Against somebody. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. It makes now bit of sense to me. But it is what I mean. But hey, it is what it is. This said federal agents response as the Department of Homeland Security issued a statement rejecting the mayor's claim of criminal misconduct by ICE personnel, saying they are false and that officers operate under the highest professional standard. Federal authorities emphasize that immigration agents generally have federal immunity for actions taken in their official duties, meaning local prosecution is legally complicated or unlikely. Man, I'm not going to get into much more of that because it's self-explanatory. It's right there in your face. Can't nothing become of this at all. Like I say, he's just doing to show everybody how much he hates Trump and knowing that since people hate Trump so much, people are going to back him, even if it makes no sense at all. Because it's just wasting money, wasting resources that you have little of, but you don't care. Instead of using these resources to fight the crimes, to help the citizens that are paying the taxes in Chicago, you want to use that taxpayer money to help those who are here illegally in the first place. And you think that makes sense. But anyway, tell me what y'all think. Leave your comments below, share it with the world. Let's have an intelligent conversation. You know how we do around here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you maybe a couple of minutes out of your day, but it means the world to us here at this channel. And with that being said, I leave you in peace and love, and I'll see you on the other side.